basically at this point, we've got our unit mounted to the wall, we've got our suction line down, and we've got our suction end in the bottom of the MYLO drum going through the cap, keeping in mind that that cap is a 12mm hole. It's a snug fit. It's not completely tight, but it's a snug fit, and for the purposes of what we're doing will be enough to stop any other contaminants. Basically, from this point here, we need to run this hose, or delivery hose, which is provided in the kit. We need to run it basically from the top of the pump all the way up, and it needs to end up down here at the end of the feed head in the dairy. So this is
above the bale.
Yeah, above the bale. This is where it feeds the cows. So we'll get to the positioning of that in a minute. Basically, from the pump here, we need to go as direct as possible, or as conveniently possible, between there and the feed head. With this hose and this style of pump, it doesn't like horizontal runs. So if you've got long horizontal runs, you will tend to get air pockets. So we always need to try and be on the move when we're mounting this. So what I mean by move is basically from this pump, if we can line up all our ducts and have the drum vertically in line with the pump, and the pump vertically in line with the auger that feeds into the feed heads, or one of the augers, there could be multiple. If we can run basically straight out of that tip, straight up the wall onto that feed head, that is going to be the best way for this pump or this system to work. You can do short horizontal runs, but we want to try and avoid it as much as possible. Basically, once we've ran the pipe up here, this feed head auger is generally on a gentle incline, which is really good for the pump. It means that the pump is always pushing uphill, which is like really good. It stops bubbles. The earlier product, as a side note, was fizzy, and I don't know whether they changed something, but the more recent product doesn't seem to be as fizzy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do you know anything?
Oh, could be. Just it's how much molasses it's got and how much carbon dioxide.
So the more fizzy the product is, the more bubbles basically you're going to get in the system. So basically we want to run this pipe just here. We want to run it all the way up along beside that feed-in auger. Once we get to the point that is vertically above the feed head, that's where we install this. So this is a breather for the system to get rid of any bubbles that build up from the delivery side of the pump all the way up to the feed head. Basically, the pipe gets cut and gets pushed in at this end. So, do you mind if I cut this at all?
Yeah, no, cut it.
I'll get some pliers. We'll do a bit of a, got me, do a bit of a mock setup. Probably don't want to get the bit in the video where I bled